Hi. Right, Saunders £200 cold pressed rough, kindly bequeathed to me by, sent to me from David Dickinson. So thank you, David, again. I'm going to try and do an abstract. Well, I think all my landscapes are sort of abstract because they don't exist. I make them up, but they're based on actual experience over a lifetime of looking at landscapes, English landscapes in particular. But I want to try to do some reflections, but just make it up as I go along, and I'm not going to paint this wet in wet. I'll wet various areas of the paper, but I want to put in some nice rich colour. I'll just give my watercolour a bit of a spray, especially that yellow. It's getting a little bit dry. So I'll, using the 2-inch hake, I can't get away from the hakes, I love the hakes. We'll put in a bit of all over, and we'll try to get into the wet pit areas. The colours, so what I put in I used to paint like this with wet and dry. So I can just put this in there, and we can carry on a bit more. Remember that the overhead sky is darker than than a bit of the foreground. Oh, as you come down, less blue. We can re-wet, and I'm going to put some bit of alizarin. See if I can keep away from the light red. Use the alizarin and the blue for a bit of cloud. But you can see me mixing on the palette. Right here, there. So let's just put that in the water. So we've got hard and dry, and onto that we'll put in a bit of yellow, a bit of the raw sienna. That's just a bit of warm in there. Just get that in there. I'll see what that dries like. I've got a couple of little specks in the sky, but we won't worry too much about that. Right, I'll just clean the palette. Always got a roll of kitchen paper. I've got another, that one's almost used up, but the last one is used up. I buy great big rolls of the stuff. I'm using ultramarine so far, ultramarine, alizarin crimson, and the yellow. I'm so used to the acrylic now. The raw sienna. The raw sienna is too weak in acrylic or oil, but the yellow ochre is too opaque for me for use with watercolour. So we'll put in some trees. It's going to be a sort of a river wander. I keep referring to it. It's any river really. Can you see the palette? Yep. I'll do my best to show you all of this. I'd rather hold the palette, but it's quite okay like this. So let's just put in some nice colours. trees. And some nice, really rich reflections coming down here. And as this dries, we can go in with a harder edge. We can have a bit of sienna on that side, I think, and we'll mix with a bit of alizarin, and a bit of the blue. Get a bit of a darker mix. A bit of calligraphy in that. A bit warm sienna. It's a bit nearer to us, and I might have to go up there a bit. Let's just bring this down here. A bit burnt sienna with the ultramarine, get a nice dark bit of shadow in here. It's very rough, marvellous paper. It's so different from the Fabriana that I use for the wet in wet. Put some shadow in here. But the Fabriana is great for what it does, so I'm not knocking it. This is wonderful paper for painting straight in there. We can put some stuff up there. Right, let's. When I say stuff, I mean branches, and so let's go back into that background then, and just stiffen it up a little bit. Bits of other colour on your brush, on the first parts of the brush. Dark in there. Almost neat paint this. Then a little thick, more to a certain extent. And we're coming round into this area here. Get some nice neat blue. With yellow in everything. A bit green. Back to the blue. Right, okay. Now we'll pull those reflections down into there. Leave a bit of white, or a bit of unpainted paper. Right, just adding in the colour, just using the corner of the hake. But I've got that nice yellow coming through this, so I want to get that in. There, so that shows it all. I'm just trying to get you to have a go at these things. It's new to me as well, but just be a bit inventive, and we'll just go over and just get some nice colours back in there. I've left out the light red on this one. And I'm certainly not using the Payne's Grey. I'm getting my darks with the burnt sienna and ultramarine. Oh, I'm going to mix a bit of crimson in with that. That's a bit of dry brush. You don't have to use the hake, you can use whatever brushes you want. It's just that I like that. I think it does so much. Different colours this side. Leaving lots of sparkle. Oh, there's a good bit of yellow in there. Now you do need a bit more water than when you're using the Fabriano, because the paper being rough, get some shadow in there. Right, okay, so what we've got there, I'm just looking on my screen. Now, that's a bit barren there, so let's fill that in. Although the border on the mount will take care of that. It's not really going to take any lifting out, or not easily anyway. Probably because the paper is so rough. I'll just give it a little bit of a reclip. It's not really going, but it's buckling up just a little bit, so let's just keep it a bit flat. And pull that one up there. Okay. I'm going to give that a dry. So take your headphones off. Ready, go. So now with the wettish hake, blue and sienna, got a sort of bluey greeny grey, we can put in some trunks. I'll do some of this with a rigger. Just come in some in here. Blue. Leave some well, I'm going to go over this anyway. With some dry brush. A tangle of trees. A little bit of bank showing in there. I'm mixing my green with the alizarin green, yellow, and ultra. Just put some dry brush in there. Just for the edge. You could use your sables or round brushes for this sort of thing. Just fill in between the trunks, between the branches and things. We can do, let's do some more on the other side. I'll go back with the rigger on that. I don't want anything definite, I just want to sort of impressionist type of abstract, so let's just come in here. Not fainter. Okay, now some unrealistic colours on there. This is all for effect. I'm using burnt sienna and alizarin there. Sort of an autumny sort of colour. Let's just get that in there. You can hear it roughing the paper, can't you? Right, let's get some good darks in there. Oh, that went a bit wrong there. Right, alizarin, blue. Let's get a little bit of shadow in this area here. A bit of work with the rigger. Sometimes you don't always see where the hake is, the corner of the hake. It sort of disappears with a lot of paint on it. Ah, it's a bit rough in the undergrowth. Right, very colourful. Thought I'd better do a watercolour. I've done an acrylic, which is just uploaded. Okay, now just a little bit with the rigger. Just a sort of a mauvey colour. Let's just put some reflections in here. Roughly where they're showing above. Probably a bit dark in there. So what you put above, put below. Oh, that's a gorgeous paper. I'm only just learning to use it really, as you know. I did a couple yesterday. That one I was so disappointed with it. I painted on the other side, but you seem to like the one I didn't. So you see things that I don't, maybe. Just the blue, alizarin, bit of sienna, just a dark grey. I don't want that painted in the background now. I quite like that. Right, okay. We can have an abstract bird in there, can't we? Right on that yellow. Right, let's. I'll sign it. Put a mount on it. I think maybe the blue mount on this. A bit too low down there. So that's 2 paintings done today. So we'll call it a day. Give myself some space. Don't look. Right, well, I think it'll agree. I've only used 1, 2, 3, 4. I've used 5 colours in that. That's the alizarin crimson, a bit of lemon yellow, not a lot. A little bit of raw sienna, but a lot of burnt sienna and ultramarine. Right, well there we are. So we've got another river wandle scene. Let's bring you round, and then we'll come down there. Well, what do you reckon? Let's zoom in. Go around the background. See loads of colours in that background, but they're all muted, all lost in the wet in wet there. But all the areas I've left sparkly, especially in the sky, you can see those areas unwetted paper. You get all sorts of lovely effects where the paint moves on the wet on the water, but then stops when it's dry. I used to do a lot of this years ago, but I stopped in favour of oil for about 15 years, and I've only been doing the watercolours back like this for about 3 years, all on YouTube. And I do like the watercolours, but I must admit I am thoroughly enjoying working with the acrylics. It's got loads of possibilities with the texture and so on, but I try to do a few watercolours as well. So thanks for watching. I hope you like this one. Bye bye.